Greetings, my dear viewers, and welcome back to another Dungeons & Dragons character concept. In this series, I, Drahon, will take you through the different races in Dungeons & Dragons and see what backgrounds and classes best fit those races for a lore-centric character for your next campaign. Today's actually going to be a pretty short video because we are doing the Centaur, which really doesn't have much about it that I can really talk about. It's a Fae that got listed as a playable humanoid race, so you have the features of the Fae in it, so like I said, there's not really much to talk about. These creatures are centered in Greek mythology, and you can actually find this race in particular in Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica, which is a Magic the Gathering supplement for Dungeons & Dragons. The main Magic the Gathering supplement, if I might add, next to Mythic Odysseys and Theros. Anyway, the Centaur is actually a half-decent player race because you can, well, you're a Centaur, you're half horse. So you get similar class features to that, like well, I don't remember what class features they get. I think it has a similar class feature to that of the Goliath and the Furbolg, where you count as one size larger than what your size actually is. So since you're counted as a medium creature, as a player race, you count as a large, as far as your carrying capacity, push and pull limit are. But anyways, according to what little I could find on the Centaur, the Centaurs are nomadic and prefer to keep to themselves. So background-wise, that would be Outlander and Hermit. For classes, it's a little bit more strain. But we have Barbarian as a viable one because, according to Greek mythology, they have a little bit of a temper. But Fighter and Ranger are going to be your more prevalent classes to go with, especially since some Centaurs have been known to train mighty heroes. And, of course, thanks to Dungeons & Dragons lore, they're part of the Feywild, kind of, sort of. They're Fey-based, so nature is going to be a very liable set of skills that the Centaur is going to have. Finding words today is just awful. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on to our first class, the Barbarian. Now, there are three subclasses that you can go with for the Barbarian Centaur. Ancestral Guardian being a pretty good one, in fact. Totem Warrior is also a very good one. On the Zealot is probably going to be your most preferred one because of their religious background. For fighters, Battlemaster, Cavalier, and Champion are going to be your best choices. However, Cavalier is going to be a little bit odd because Born to the Saddle really doesn't apply to you. I guess if you're riding something a Centaur could ride, maybe it would work. But other than that, it doesn't really matter since you are your own steed, technically speaking. Moving on to Ranger. Like I said, the Centaur is mostly from the Feywild, so Fey Wanderer is going to be your best bet. And since the Centaurs are nomadic, the Hunter and Monster Slayer are going to be a good pick as well for a Centaur character. Moving on to Cleric. Now, like I said, Nature's going to be one of your best picks because of how Centaurs are. So Nature and Zeal will probably be two very good picks, but Knowledge is another one that would be perfect for a Centaur, since they are said to have trained heroes. At least some of the more famous ones have. War would also be a pretty good one, though it's not necessary. It's a little more of a stretch than Zeal is. Now, Druid, while a stretch, there are Centaur Druids within the Magic the Gathering universe, and I'm pretty sure there are Centaur Druids within Dungeons & Dragons as well. So it actually makes sense to have a Centaur Druid player character, even though you're already half animal, so having the wild shape feature is almost pointless. Anyway, for your circles, Land and Shepherd are going to be your main two, since they're nomadic and have said to be able to shepherd people. Dreams is another one that could work. I think it had something to do with a god they worshipped. I don't quite remember. Anyway, moving on. Paladin would be another good one. Mainly the Oath of the Ancients. Oath of the Watchers would actually be a very good one to go for as well, since you are trying to protect from outside forces. And again, Oath of the Ancients is for that Fey-Wild tie-in. And with that, unfortunately, I'm going to have to end it here. I'm sorry I couldn't give more an explanation on a good Centaur player character. Honestly, a Centaur player character is not the best. Yes, it would be good for a more power gamer type of player, but as far as lore goes, there's nothing really to go on. I can't really explain in detail on how good a Centaur can be for a lore-driven game. Only if it's for its stats. So, unfortunately, that's all I got for you today, my dear viewers. I do hope you enjoyed. Until next time, this has been Drehan, and I am offline. If you'd like to tell me what character you would like to see in my next video, please leave a comment down below. I also have a Discord channel. I'll make sure to leave a link in the description for that as well. You can visit my Discord channel to see some other builds that I may not have posted on here. For example, the Detective archetype of the Cup. Or even Jeremy Wade from River Monsters. You can also post your fan art like one of my other subscribers have done. I also have a Twitch channel, but I haven't posted anything on there yet because I need a computer for that.